Welcome into our SportsSource.tv overtime segment. We do this every week after the show. We tape with these guys. So if it's morning, afternoon, or night when you're watching, we appreciate you joining us right here, where I'm joined by VFL Sterling Hinton, VFL Kyler Kerbyson, VFL Will Overstreet, VFL David Ligon. Okay, and this segment, as you see on the desk, it's brought to you by Smokin' Joe's. All right. Now, I always tell you about their original location, Paper Mill, and their newer location, which is Alcoa. I got to change that now, because their original location, Paper Mill, is no longer their location. They have moved to West Knoxville, out near North Peters Road, right across from Rafferty's. It is now a complete smoking lounge. It is a lounge. It is a club. If you sign up for a membership, they've got lockers. It is a tremendous value, $200 for the entire year. That's your monthly fee. You got lockers. They've got poker tables. They've got the golf games where you go in, actual real club, fire the thing into the wall, and it tells you where the ball would have gone.
Wow.
TVs, sporting events, huge walk-in humidor. There's nothing else like it in the area. It's really strong. It's called Blue Smoke Cigar. Blue Smoke Cigar. That is the new Smokin' Joe's. Okay, now. They still have the Smokin' Joe's, called Smokin' Joe's in Alcoa. So, Smokin' Joe's Alcoa, Blue Smoke is the smoking club out in West Knoxville. Check it out. All right. That was clear as mud for everyone. As players, and let me introduce, of the panel here, we also have to do this every week. Two of the guys here, I always want to see who's positive, who's negative. We always have Sunshine Sterling and Willie Raincloud. We'll see who's positive and negative about some of these things today. And the first question for you guys, I'll start with you two, and then David and Kyler can jump in. I'm guessing most players don't walk around saying, wow, we just had a good loss. But I think there's such a thing as a good loss. Do you agree? Sterling Hinton.
First of all, I absolutely disagree. There's no such thing as a good loss, but there are all those games that are good when you run out of time. I think yesterday we ran out of time. I think our boys fought. I don't think they lost the game. They played the game to the best of their ability. Only one team can have more points than the other. That's what I think happened yesterday.
I won't try to change the definition of wins and losses. Sterling there just ran out of time. It wasn't a loss. It's not what we do here. But anyway.
There's the perfect example of Sunshine Sterling.
Exactly. Change the definitions now. So, there is such thing as good loss because you learn from losses. I think this team can take away a lot of positives. One, and how well they performed against an SEC West team. I mean, that is a different level of talent than they've been playing. Two, that they can win any of these games. But also at the same time, you can lose every single one of these games if you don't protect the football, if you don't do little things right. You're good enough to win them all, and you're good enough when you do that to get beat by anyone. So this team hopefully can take this and see how close they are, and that if we correct a few of these things and do a few of these things better, we have a chance to be as good and play for anything we want. But we've got to do those things right, or we won't get anything.
Another way this thing was a good loss, is if you beat Alabama. If you somehow beat Alabama and run the table, there's not going to be anybody at the end in playoff conversation time that will say, yeah, but you lost by 30 at some. You lost in double overtime at Texas A&M.
Yep.
That is also a good loss by the playoff committees. If you get in, that's a long way down the road.
I like how you think, though,
but if you're in that conversation, this would be taken as a good loss. Such a thing as a good loss, David Ligon, or no?
For me, as a player, I remember more, and it eats at me more, the games that we lost by that much. They were really, really close. And, the blowout ones, and I think of, going back to 2003 against Georgia and them returning that fumble at the goal line and then just crushing us the rest of the game. Like, they beat us handedly. But, 2006 against Florida, the eventual national champion, you stop 1 4th down conversion, you beat them, and that changes the whole landscape of college football that year. So you can learn a lot of things from a loss, but you don't feel good about it.
Right, right. I don't think these current players, Kyler, your former teammates, are looking at it today saying, wow, big smiles on their faces. That was a good loss. But I do think you can learn from it. Do you agree with good loss theory or no?
Yeah, no one's happy today. They're definitely down. The fact that they lost, they had a long flight back, for sure. And I wouldn't say there's such thing as a good loss at all. I would say, like Will did, there's learning to happen after this loss. And maybe that will be the factor that turns it around for them against Alabama. Maybe they'll see that they, can't fumble the ball, can't throw interceptions as much as they do, and they might turn it around versus Bama. And like last year, how many good losses per se did we have last year in the Oklahoma, the Floridas, the Alabamas that were so close and helped us grow as a team?
Well, there you go. So you could make the comment that those were good losses because they helped you get over that hump this year. So anyways, I had a feeling going into it, this side of the table would say no such thing, and that side of the table would say, yeah, there is. All right. Let me ask you specifically, Kyler. There are a lot of people, you get on Twitter, and they don't teach ball security. This is an undisciplined team because of the penalties. I would normally be saying, especially on the penalty thing, that's undisciplined. However, when you look at what Butch Jones teams have done, what their footprint is traditionally, his first 3 years they finished first, and fourth in penalties. Now you're at the bottom of the league. They haven't changed that. In terms of fumbling the football, I had it down. It was something like 14 his first year, 15 his second year, 20 last year. They're at 21 fumbles. Now, not all lost, but 21 fumbles 6 games in. You're on pace for 42. They haven't gone out there and said, hey, let's change the way we teach them to hold the football.
Yeah.
So some of that is just dumb luck. Some of that's dumb football. But penalties and fumbling, I don't put that on these coaches because these coaches have shown their teams don't traditionally do this.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it on the coaches. It definitely has to do with the guys out there. You take it upon yourself to hold on to the ball. It's all about your technique and how much you really care about it. These coaches are teaching chinning the ball all day during practice, all the time. They're teaching discipline all day during practice, all the time. They're making guys run laps every time they get a penalty. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a play, run a lap. We got somebody else to step up, which is helping with guys stepping up later on in the games. So I think the coaches are doing a great job doing it. It's just up to the players to really make it happen.
Well, let me ask you guys this. When you look at this team, 4 straight times on CBS, the 3:30 game. You had the monster game at Bristol that was ABC primetime. All of those, because they're big games, get covered on all the highlight shows. You've been with ESPN Game Day 3 times this year. All that should help recruiting, all of it. I mean, they typically close fast. I think they're set up to close fast again this year. But let me ask you about the style. As player, and you may say, no, that has nothing to do with it. And everybody's different. Some guys go to a place because they like the color of the uniform. It could be anything. Josh Dobbs because he likes the engineering program. Got it. But do you think there's any additional lure for high school kids out there and they watch Tennessee and every week they're in some sort of barn burner, exciting, fight back, do or die game? Do you think that helps, hurts, makes no difference?
I think it can help, but I think it really helps more if it's the Florida game at home. You have a lot of recruits there, the atmosphere, the crowd, everybody stays and they're into it. But also everybody's talking about it. When it's good publicity to whether you're blowing people out. Yeah, you get some chatter here and there. You're number one, but they're going to talk about the exciting game on the sports centers and on shows like this. So I think that the more recruit hears the school's name in a positive fashion, and obviously I think just winning the games helps is even more so. But I think just the chatter, the people, hey, did you see that game? That was crazy. I think that piques a recruit's interest.
Marketing works. I mean, this is pure and simple. This is marketing. This is impressions. This is impressions in a good light. And the other big thing, somebody always told me, the real estate agent, they said they knew somebody was going to buy a house when they started saying, we could put our couch over there, we could put that chair over there. Every player wants to be imagined catching that catch at the end of the game to beat Georgia. I think when you have moments like that, you have a lot of players that start seeing themselves going, I could be that guy for that team making that play. I could be the next Derek Barnett making that sack in the end zone. Mm-hmm. I think it helps recruiting more than anything you can possibly do by going out there and playing these types of games. That's the kind of game, let's put it this way. If you are going to lose a game, you want to lose a game in a double overtime where you left it all out in the field and you made plays and they made plays and it was a back and forth. knockout punching match, right, against the best other team there was. That's what you want to go play college football in. So I think this has every benefit in the world to help this team, not only in this recruiting class coming up, but these kinds of impressions that a junior year and a sophomore year start making you want to be a part of that team when it's your turn to sign.
You guys agree that the style they're playing right now, it's not really a style, it's just the type of game they've been in. Do you think that helps on the recruiting trail or no?
I think it helps incredibly on the recruiting trail, but it also helps just getting students enrolled into the school. I mean, the year after the national championship was the most enrolled in Tennessee history. So, it's a lot of things that the football program helps other than just football and athletes. It also helps with the basketball team. It helps with the Lady Vols. It helps with just recruits coming to the University of Tennessee.
Now we just need that free sorority video that Alabama's team made sorority made last year for recruiting help, and UT will be in great shape.
Let's not venture too close down to the Trump world or anything. Kyler, do you think this kind of thing is an additional lure or no?
I do. I mean, you don't want a game this close every time. I think that kind of hurts your team more with all these injuries. I mean, we have to play to the fourth quarter every game. But it makes it exciting for everybody, and I think the winning is the biggest part. Guys go to Alabama because they win a lot. And Nick Saban can just say, we're going to win while you're here, and they go, okay, I'll come. So I think that's a huge part. I also think what Will said is those guys imagine themselves making those plays, and then they see the effort that Malik Foreman gives while he's out there, that Derek Barnett gives while he's chasing down that 15-yard run, and they say, oh my God, I love these guys. I love this team. I love the way that they play, and that makes them want to go there.
See, I would, and I may be wrong here, this is just me, but if I'm a player out there and I'm deciding between Tennessee and Michigan, I'm looking at the games Tennessee is playing. It's like, man, that is exciting. That is fun. That's some kind of brand of football. I'm looking at Michigan and going, Rutgers 78-0. Okay,
no big deal.
You beat Rutgers 78-0. I know that's impressive, but would you rather say I caught that pass in the end zone to beat Georgia, or I'm the fourth string and I got in and scored that 8th touchdown against Rutgers with 2 minutes to go? I mean, I think that you're probably I like the fact that they're not only getting exposure, but people are talking about them as being one of the most exciting teams in the country. I think that's good. Now, on the negative side, let me ask you this: on the CBS broadcast, they kept talking about the pixie dust. The pixie dust has run out. If you run out of pixie dust, a lot of people saying, well, the magic ran out on them. The luck ran out. Kevin Sumlin at halftime yesterday, he's friends with Butch Jones. It might have just been a slip, but he said, we got to keep fighting. We don't want these guys to get lucky for a 5th game in a row. Lucky. Well,
you keep fighting back every single game. I know there's issues that are out there to cause you to be down, but if you still have the ability against bad teams or really, really good teams to fight back, at some point it's not luck. I mean, you have a good team. You just got to fix some issues in the beginning of the game, and then you're going to be blowing those teams out.
Yeah, I thought it's going to crap.
Well, I think they were just saying that as a joke, but I think everybody understands that when this team comes out and decides to play, you could see somebody in the first half that you're like, these guys aren't that good. We should be blowing them out. Second half, you realize there's another type of team that can wake up and play you. And I think that's more what they're talking about right now as coaches. They know what they're going into and that this team can score a lot of points very quickly.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call it luck. It doesn't happen often. So once it happens 5 times, it's probably not just luck.
And like you said earlier, it's the personality of the team. And luck, what is luck? Where preparation meets opportunity.
Yep.
So here we are.
You would fit right in with Butch Jones. We'll end it on that. Good cliched statement. That's excellent. Guys, I appreciate it.
Right above the cage. Forever.
David Ligon, Will Overstreet, Kyler Curtis, and Sterling Hinton. Good guys right here. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate our sponsors for bringing you the show, which you can see in these little boxes here on the website. Appreciate you for watching here on the SportsSource.tv website. Also, don't forget, Thursday night, well, first of all, next Sunday you can catch us at 11 a.m. on WATE 6. But Thursday night, Fox 43 here in Knoxville, 7 o'clock, me, Jimmy Himes, Mike Griffith, Will Overstreet, the rest of us will gang up on Mike Griffith, but we will discuss and break down Tennessee, Alabama, which could be a pretty good game based on our predictions, and for some reason I went with Sterling today.
I like the chances because he's riding with me.
Rolling the dice. We'll talk about it Thursday. We'll talk about it Sunday. See you then.